Oh my God, hi, bitch, you guessed it. Bitch, you guessed it. Hi, cheers. Cheersies. We're gonna talk about forgiveness today. Forgiveness, how to be friends with your exes in 2025. Are we really talking about it? Yeah, we're talking about it. Cheers, y'all. Okay. Yogi tea, because it's that time to rock some yogi tea. Yeah, this is gonna be part how-to, part story time. Because I think that like setting an example is important when it comes to this one. Okay. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not new here, welcome. I am Shanti Tag. Hi, nice to meet you. Slash see you. Slash not see you. Slash hi. Welcome. All right, dudes. Dudes, B squad. How to be friends with your exes. Now, this is not going to be for everyone, for every circumstance. I get this, okay? However, I think it is such a cool thing when we can maintain a friendship with an ex, someone we were previously romantic with. It's like, do I really believe that? No, I really do. Now, please believe I am not friends with all of my exes, but I am friends with, I was going to say a lot as if like I've had a lot of exes. I'm friends with some. I'll say it like that, okay? Yeah. I'm not blushing, you're blushing. All right. Now, the first little piece I'll go into here is soul contracts. This is a term that is a hot topic. It's been a hot topic for a while. Maybe you've heard of this concept of having a soul contract with another person in this life. And essentially what that means, now, I think soul contract gets tossed around in a way that's not 100% accurate. But I'll say it like this. A soul contract is something that you have set forth, go forth, young sir, to do, whether it's in an incarnation or between incarnation. This is part of your soul's journey. It's a soul mission. I'm sure you've heard that before. A soul's mission. That is something that you have, again, set out to do, whether in incarnation or between incarnations, yes? So when I think of soul contract with another individual, I think of soulmate, soul family, something that was agreed upon prior to incarnation, that maybe you've worked with this particular other soul with and on for lifetimes. You know, in one life you're this role and I'm that role. The next, okay, we got that down, or maybe we didn't, so let's do it again. Roll tape, right? Next, and action. Or okay, we got that down. Now let's reverse roles. I'm this role, you're that role, da 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 da, and go. So we see this a lot in romance and partnership, where there's a particular soul contract at play in this partnership dynamic where, you know, it's not always the end-all be-all married for forever type situation with someone that you've been romantic with. It is quite literally, you know, we're not going to know all of the details while we're in physical incarnation about the soul's contract, but we can clue in on some key points. Yes? All right. Key point number one is remembering that you have an agreement with this individual in order to learn and to grow. Okay, there you go. Number two, it takes two. Meaning that even if you treated someone like garbage, there was an open invitation by them for you to do that. And vice versa. If someone treated you like garbage, there was an open invitation that you extended to that person to treat you like garbage. Now, I know that's a tough one to kind of wrap your head around, especially in like some of these more dicey and pressurized scenarios. And I am not suggesting that everyone needs to take this particular teaching into consideration for every situation, every circumstance, every partnership, every ex, okay? But I think it can behoove us, regardless of what happened, that we sign up for specific things in a life in order to propel our soul in its own evolutionary process, which might not ever make sense in the incarnation you're in, and it will only make sense in your past life review when you're in between incarnations. Yes? Okay, so that's kind of point number one. Remember that you have a contract that you both agreed upon and said yes to prior to incarnating, okay? So regardless of how it ended, you both had that like, yes, let's do this, okay? All right. And let's see, point number two that I'd like to highlight when it comes to relationships is that when you're romantic with someone and you have sex, you are biologically entangled for forever. There have been studies, don't take my word on that. Like, go down the medical study rabbit hole of the biological long-term effects of having sex with another person. It is wild. I think it's so fascinating, and it's one of the reasons why I now treat sex as sacred. And I'm not suggesting that you should change this, change that, do this, do that, but my own personal journey and my potential invitation for you is maybe bring some more sacredness into that exchange, even just for the sheer fact that, let's say you have sex with a person once, that's enough for you to be affected by what they got going on in their own life across the country, across the planet. You have biologically intertwined. And that shit lasts. It's so wild. So do I believe sex is sacred? Absolutely, in so many different ways, including like biologically, where like if I'm not interested, I could say it like this, but it's not exactly what I mean. Like, if I'm not willing to like spend the rest of my life with this person, I'm not gonna have sex with them, which I know sounds wild, okay? But when you think of it like this, where I'm literally going to be biologically affected by what this person does or what this person has done for literally basically the rest of my physical life. Am I willing to do that? Does this person like meet the standard that I hold for that? So I like to have that conversation in my head. And it's why I've been single and celibate for years. Years. Because I haven't, I take it very seriously. And I want to have a connection with myself, which is point number three that I want to get into about how to be friends with your ex in 2025. But we'll go there in just a second. But yeah, dude, you're going to be affected by this person, your ex, especially if you've had sex with them, for forever, basically. So it would behoove you to, if the circumstance can call for it, to see how you can carve out a friendship with this person. Okay? Like, wow, we basically got married without getting married, or maybe you did get married, but I like to think of it like that because I want to put pressure on myself so I'm not making weird decisions about who I share my time with, my space with, my body with, right? Like, it's very, very sacred for me, okay? And that's my invitation for you, is just to kind of put yourself on a higher pedestal in regards to partnership, right? So then let's say you have an interaction with somebody, and then you can kind of like participate in conscious uncoupling, which is a whole other unpack, but that typically can lead to being friends with your ex. And that can be so freaking cool, okay? All right, so point number three is, what's point number three? I don't remember. Dating myself. There you go. Point number three is, hey y'all, B Squad, what's up? if you're watching up until this point, thank you so much. I wanted to take a moment and just say how thankful I am for all of you. And as I was editing, I noticed that my energy was a little bit sporadic, and I wanted to say why. Um, I am currently in Los Angeles, and you may or may not know that Los Angeles is basically on fire. And I wanted to, number one, just send so many prayers, hugs, and love out to the community, and thank you to everyone that is sending their prayers this way. Me and my family are safe, and I'm so grateful for that. But there's a couple mantras that I'm going to share in the description below that are specific to protection, and also protection when it comes to kind of natural disasters. All right, so I wanted to just pop in and add this little extra piece and also just say thank you and sending you all blessings and love wherever you are. All right, B Squad. Mwah. You know, in order to really be friends with your ex, it requires you being friends with yourself. So being able to take full accountability for what went on in the relationship, um, meaning like, yes, I am aware of the fact that I signed a soul contract with this person prior to incarnation. Yes, I'm aware of the fact that there was an open invitation for either me to treat this person like shit or them to treat me like shit, or whatever the case is. That's just like one example of taking like ownership and accountability and responsibility for what went down in the relationship, because ultimately you said yes for partnering, right? Not saying yes to like everything that happened in the dynamic, but saying yes to partnering. So when you can really sit with those things, then you can start to have a little bit more self-respect, self-importance, like high vibe self-importance, right? Not like low vibe narcissistic self-importance, where like, oh, wow, I see my part in this. Oh, wow, I need to go deeper when it comes to a healthy relationship with myself. And am I actually treating myself the way that I want to be treated by others? Am I treating myself the way I want to be treated by a lover, a partner, a romantic, whatever the hell, okay? That's a really, really key component to being friends with your exes, which again, I think is so fucking rad to be able to do in this day and age. You know, I gave you 3 examples of the what, and now I'm going to give you some examples of the how. Emotional expression, like systematic emotional expression technique is the name of the game, paired with Kundalini yoga, the science and technology of Kundalini yoga. You get into the prana, the breath, the movement of the body, the meditation, which reorganizes the whole entire conscious and subconscious landscape. And then the systematic emotional expression technique is monumental because you start to express what wasn't expressed. And it's and when I say that, and what I mean there is, oftentimes you can hear people talking about releasing emotion or releasing energy, and that's not what that is. You're transforming it. So you can transform your depression and anger into joy and ecstasy, and all of a sudden you have like a whole new experience with shit, okay? So the emotional expression technique helps with that, where you actually are building a muscle of dexterity and proficiency when it comes to healthy expression. And then you pair that with the Kundalini yoga and all of what comes with that science and technology, which then will completely rewire basically every single system for you in order to become the match to what it is that you want, to become the thing that it is that you want. And in this particular case, it's I want to become the healthy relationship with myself, and then the healthy relationship with the other another person. Okay, so story time. I have a child, and I share that child with another person. We made a baby, and I am not with that other person, but we are close and we are friends, and we've been able to put our own shit in aside or reframe it in a way where, you know, at least I have really done the work to be able to maintain a friendship with this person, because there's like the importance of the bigger picture here. And in this case, it's a family unit where we're always going to be a family unit. And I want that to be a very positive experience, not only for my bebe, but for myself as well, right? I want to be able to have a friendship with the person I created another life with. I promise I'm okay. I promise it's going great. No, but you know, there's stuff, right? But for the most part, like, we get along as a family, we get along as parents, and we can have fun as friends. And you know, I want to be friends with who this person partners next with. Like, I want to have a healthy relationship there, not only for myself but for my daughter and the whole dynamic. And I really believe that there's a way that you can have like such a wonderful extended family in this particular scenario. And I don't know if there's a ton of examples of that. So I really do my best to be like this, you know, a leading example in how to co-parent in a new way and how to be friends with your exes. I'm going to make another video about co-parenting, but this is really about being friends with your exes. And so I'll say this, there's this yogic teaching that I really love that kind of women dictate the relationship, every relationship, all relationships typically, okay? So if your ex has a new partner and you're a woman and their new partner is a woman, get in with the woman. I mean, you don't have to like pretend and people please and all of that, but really kind of like the success of the relationship that you have with your ex is kind of dependent upon the relationship with you that you have with your ex's new partner, if they have a new partner. And maybe they don't, so that's like a different step. But let's say they don't and you've maintained a friendship with this person, you can kind of watch the chips fall. If they start dating somebody and you are a woman and they are a woman and it's not a match, then you potentially will start to witness the friendship that you have with your ex fizzle. This last little nugget I'll kind of break down is, if you're in a relationship or if you've had a relationship and you've experienced a sense of ownership over another person, that's an issue that's not gonna go great. It's a real flat tire. It's a real kind of, you know, poison in the well moment, okay? No one owns anyone, right? Which seems like such like a simple concept, but when you're in a relationship, and I see this all the time in my work, especially when I see couples, is there's this kind of like festering root of ownership over the other person. And that is not what relationships are all about. And oftentimes when a relationship ends, it's because that sense of ownership festered and inverted and got just so weird that they can't, that there's like this sense of failure or abandonment or so much messy stuff associated with that false sense of ownership over another person. Any healthy relationship, whether it's with a romantic partner that you're currently with, an ex, a friend, an employee, an employer, like whatever, no one owns anyone. You have your own free agency to, you know, it's you do you. You know, anytime you feel like you're like in charge of somebody or owning someone in a marriage or anything, it's time to reassess and look at the relationship that you have with you. You know, what type of self-control do you have? What kind of self-devotion do you have? What are your high vibe practices that you're committed to? What are your healthy practices that you're committed to? So that ownership over another person is really the inversion of having a healthy relationship with yourself and healthy commitments. And if you don't have healthy commitments, then chances are you're going to try to own another person, control another person, and it's gonna not go good. And that is not how you become friends with your exes, okay? So it's my invitation to you to just consider what's possible around being friends with your exes. I think it's just such a cool thing, because you have a contract with this person. You've had a contract with this person, and contracts end, and sometimes they are really just dissolved, right? And it's just like, and next, see you in the next life, or maybe I won't. Okay. And so don't get it twisted, right? This is definitely not for every freaking circumstance, but I would love to encourage you all to see if there's a relationship that you could maybe spark a friendship with. I think it can be so cool. I think it's like it's a real kind of like calling in the golden age type moment. All right. So, kind of a little bit of a hey-o, a little bit of a hey-o. All right. Yeah, I think that's it. I hope you're all doing well. Beyond well. I hope you're thriving and having fucking fun and have something to cheers with, cause this yoga tea is calling my name. Cheers, y'all. Bitch squad. I love you all so much. Cheers. I don't know what that jazzy tune is. It's like a, I don't know, like a roller skating in the 70s, kind of like pizzazzy jazzy moment. Pizzazzy jazzy! All right, Satnam, blessed be. Fuck yeah.